Good evening from West Ridge Lanes in Topeka, Kansas. We're ready to get started with our Stepladder finals here at the PWBA Topeka Open, presented by the Prairie Band Casino and Resort. I'm Lucas Wiseman, along with Hall of Famer Anne-Marie Dugan, as we get started with our Stepladder finals. Our first match, Clara Guerrero against Liz Kuhlkin, number 4 versus number 3. The winner to take on our number 2 seed, which is Liz Johnson. And then our top seed waiting in the wings is 4-time Team USA member Danielle McEwan. We are just finishing practice here and about to get started. Anne-Marie, you watched practice quite a bit, talked to some of the players. What are your thoughts on how we're going to see the players start off here on this 35-foot sport pattern?
I'll tell you what, Lucas's first match is going to be a little bit interesting. From talking to Clara, she thought that lane 26 was a little tricky. She liked 25 better and felt that 26 was tricky, similar to how she had played them, but just felt a little more comfortable on 25 than 26. And I noticed that Liz had made Clara start the match, so that means she's going to finish on the lane that she's not as comfortable with. And then Liz said that she had really not bowled good early on, and that she liked them better after the shot developed. So her morning game, she said her fresh game really wasn't that good, that she did a lot of her high scoring later on in the block. So it could be interesting.
All right, Clara Guerrero is going to start things off here. First frame of our Stepladder finals here at West Ridge Lanes in Topeka, Kansas. A little high, but carries the 4 for the strike, and Clara with a big smile to start here in the first frame.
That's a good way to start.
And you were right, Anne-Marie. Liz definitely liked him better as the block went on. She had a 300 in the final game of the first round today, the first 300 we've had in the standard PWBA event this year. So if you'd like to see that final shot, you can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/PWBA Tour. And then Liz also caught the same pair for the last 2 games of match play that helped her make it into the Stepladder finals. She went, 240, 250 those last 2 games, and
she did.
Zipped right in.
She bowled quite well in those pairs. And I think that if Liz can make it through this first match, she's going to be a tough one to handle because the lanes are going to develop a little bit more for her. She plays the lane differently than the other 3 players. She's going to be in a little bit deeper and sending the ball right and playing a little bit more angle into the pocket.
Here is Kuhlkin trying to make the 10-pin to start things off here. Liz, you may remember seeing her at the Queens. She made the TV show at the Queens in May and ended up losing, but really made her pro debut in style. She just graduated from the University of Nebraska recently, and she's already making a pretty significant impact on the tour.
She is. She bowled well on that show, too. As I recall, that she did not bowl poorly. She just got a couple bad breaks and wasn't able to continue on.
Yeah, I believe she lost in a roll-off to Maria Rodriguez in that opening match. But Kuhlkin, a member of Junior Team USA in 2014. And that's a good-looking shot right there. That's Liz Kuhlkin with the strike. And, of course, Clara Guerrero has all kinds of accomplishments to her credit. She has been on the Colombian national team for 18 years. And she won the Cubica AMF Bowling World Cup last year. You saw that on Bowl TV. So
really doesn't look old enough to be on any team for 18 years.
She doesn't look older than 18, I don't think.
No, she does not.
But Clara looking to get off to a quick lead here with a double.
Clara's a really tough bowler. Oh, what a bad break that was.
That was a good shot, blowout 7.
She's such a tough bowler. I'll tell you what, she started the tournament off. I bowled near her in qualifying, and she was at one point almost 100 under, I think, and then came back and made the cut, and then came back and is now on the show. Just really there is no give up in this lady.
No problem on the spare for Clara. As you can see, we have a great crowd here this evening at Westridge Lanes. They have been great hosts this week
Oh,
at this bowling center. Really top notch.
yes, they have. You know, we've really been spoiled on this tour.
We have.
We have been just treated like queens and kings of you, those of you working.
There's
but,
few of
you
us.
know, yes, but the bowling centers have been so gracious to us and just treating us with open arms.
Yeah, it really has been great. And our thanks to Jerry Kessler and the team here for really taking care of everybody this week.
Yes, and I know Jerry's wife, Cheryl Van Leerberg. Cheryl Kessler used to bowl out on the tour back in the olden days.
Clara gets a break there, gets the strike.
That was really a bad break on lane 26 on her lane that she thought was tricky because she really made a good shot and to not come away with a three-bagger.
Easily could have the front three right now.
Yes, she could.
And a 20-pin lead, but instead it's all tied up.
And I really do feel that Liz is probably not the dark horse, but the longer that she gets to stay on the lanes, they're just going to get better for her, I think.
She will take on, or the winner of this will take on Liz Johnson in match number 2. A little high on that shot, 3-6-10.
That's what she was doing in practice. I think that because she plays with more rev rate and a different angle than the other girls, she's in a little bit deeper, not maybe able to play out as far as the straighter players are. If she grabs it just a little bit early, it's really not going to hold pocket. She needs that lane to develop a little bit more to give her just a tiny bit of hold. Not that she needs a lot, but just that little bit to maybe trip before rather than, and that's a bad break too.
Yeah, it's a tricky little spare there. It's an open frame for Liz Kuhlkin, and you can see the scoreboard there. She trails by 12 now after 3 frames.
Yeah. Very difficult here, lane to lane and pair to pair this week on this shorter pattern. Really made it hard for the ladies, you know, and you're skipping 2 and 3 and 4 pairs at a time. You might have a really good game, move to a pair down the way, and it was nothing like what you came off of.
Kuhlkin, 4th frame. Working on an open. That's a good shot.
That was a great shot. You know, Lucas, though, when the lanes are tough like that, you know, for the professionals, that's what it is to be a professional bowler, to be able to adapt to what it is that is put in front of you. And these ladies did it better than anybody this week.
So now back over to Clara, the same lane where she left the blowout 7 last frame, and you can see where Clara's standing. Pretty close to the middle. It doesn't drift too much, but look at this, another bad break.
I mean, she has thrown 2 great shots on her tricky lane and has not been rewarded for it at all. What a bad break.
Had Maria Jose Rodriguez in helping with the commentary on the live streaming earlier, and she said that Clara had a lot of bad breaks like that today during match play.
I'm telling you, it doesn't seem to faze her. She just really is such a competitor that she just sticks in there and just tries to make one good shot after another.
She picks it up. So look at Missy Parkin and Aaron McCarthy, Sandra Gongora, players out here supporting Stepladder finals. Missy and Clara are going to do a clinic here tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw that. Anybody in this area that has a chance to do that, that might be a good thing to come and learn from these ladies. They probably will give you a really good insight and give you some really good tips and to improve on your game.
Good to see the entrepreneur spirit as they've got some downtime between stops.
I love it. I love it. And I love ladies teaching, you know, and men should feel like they could come and learn from these ladies as well. Not just for women. Everybody.
Well, Clara's getting the hits to carry on the left lane, but it's the right lane that has been unlucky for her, I guess you would say, because she's made 5 good shots to start this match.
She called it tricky. I'm calling it unkind.
Yeah.
It looks a little more unkind than tricky.
So you can see the scoreboard at the bottom of your screen. Right now, Clara clean through 5. Strike, spare, strike, spare, strike. And the only difference in the match is the open by Liz in the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of end over end roll up the lane. And
that was a nice shot right there, yes.
Really behind the ball and gets a nice strike.
Yeah, I think probably right now why, as she said, she didn't bowl well on the fresh pattern. She probably needs to stay right up the back of it and not get around it and create more, more change of direction in the back part of the lane. She wants that to roll nice and true.
So that's a big double for Liz as she pulls to within 2 pins. And after 5 frames, very close match in our opening match of the Stepladder finals.
That double brought her right back into it. Oh, calling for that to hold, wasn't she?
Gets the 3-bagger for the lead now by 8.
I think that's probably what happened to her, Lucas, as the day went on. She developed a little bit of hold that gave her a little bit of freeness to her swing, and that's never a bad thing.
That's for sure. And right now, Liz looks like she's rebounded nicely after the open frame, and now all the pressure on Clara to find a way to carry a strike on this right lane. That's in.
Oh, that better hold. No.
Yeah, you can tell off her hand that was
Yes.
in, and it leaves the 3-pin.
Yes. Still easy spare. She's not out of this by any means.
Clara's a great spare shooter and cleans it up.
Clara's a great bowler. You know,
She is a great bowler,
She's
yes.
won a men's regional. You know, she beat up on the guys. This girl can flat out bowl. And I think she's a kind of deceiving. I mean,
I would agree with that. She's kind of
know,
sneaky good.
She is, yes.
It always seems like she's in the mix.
Yeah,
Like,
and
it doesn't matter the pattern, and
Yeah, it's
she's
not
always
like,
right there.
It's not like you're going to look and say, oh, it's the big ball or
Right.
this. But man, I think this girl has a lot of heart.
Just very simple.
Yes.
7th frame. It's a good shot.
Yeah, nice. She told me, she said she liked lane 25 and that she felt that 26 was the trickier one.
Yeah, it's unfortunately, as the number 4 seed, she did not get to pick her lane. Liz Kuhlkin got to pick as the number 3 seed, and so I'm sure Clara would. I don't know if she would much rather have finished on that left lane, because
Oh, I'm sure she would have rather
she
finished on 25.
has struck every time on 25, but she has to
Yes.
finish on 26.
It may be that all the players felt that a lot of times when you have one lane that's a little tricky, everybody will feel that way. So maybe Liz felt the same way.
That looks good. 4 in a row for Liz Kuhlkin. And she is cruising right now. Look at the scoreboard at the bottom of your screen. Liz up by 18 all of a sudden. She's opened this match up pretty quick.
Though, I mean, she is stroking it nicely, and I watched a lot of matches this afternoon, and you
they
would see a
changed in a
match like
hurry.
this. Yes, they did. I
Yes.
mean, it's very critical. You got to make really good shots. I don't even think it's how good are your good shots. I think how good are your bad shots, or what kind of breaks do you get on those.
She's asking for it to push, and it does. And now she's up 28 with 2.5 frames to go, and Clara Guerrero in a little bit of trouble if she can't find a way to strike on this right lane.
Yes, that is true. She's only thrown one bad shot on this lane. She just has got no breaks.
So Clara has to find a way to
Lot
put
of
a double on the board here.
Yes, a lot of bowling left, though.
This is her last attempt on this frame and on this lane until she gets to the 10th frame, too.
Yes. This is almost a must strike. Oh, that looks good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gets
yes.
up, gets the carry.
I'll tell you, that was the one that was in the pocket the least. Her other
Yeah.
2 shots were dead
Exactly.
flush
Yeah,
and
that
did
was a
not
little light.
carry.
And she gets a light, hit the carry for the double, and back to 18.
I wonder if she made a move on that. It's kind of hard from our angle to see if she moved a little bit, but I would think she didn't.
Nice crowd here at West Ridge Lanes. 9th frame, critical shot here for Clara Guerrero. A chance to pull to within 8. Got a hook.
You know,
Washout.
I was a little worried about that, Lucas, because sometimes when you're struggling and you're striking on one lane and not on the other, I mean, you focus so hard to strike on your bad lane, and then you get on your good lane, and that just wasn't a good shot. She lost it a little early. The ball never read, and didn't get lucky to get the 10 out.
Got to find a way to give this a run. Have to go for it here. Wash out, slide it over.
I wouldn't be surprised if she picks it up.
And she does.
Nice.
Clara covers it up.
As a good spare bowler, I mean she knows where that ball's going when it comes off her hand. That was a great shot. Kept her in the match, really.
Max score for Clara is 217. Liz Kuhlkin can strike out for 258. So Liz trying to close out this match and take the win. So that's way left.
Oh.
Crosses over for the Brooklyn strike. Can you believe that?
I'll tell you though, you know what? On this short of a pattern, there were quite a few Brooklyns this week. I'm sure she's not happy about it, but she will take. She's happy. She's not proud of it. She'll take it.
And with that strike, that puts her in the 220s, even without an open. And
that's
she's
right.
going to advance into our next match against Liz Johnson.
So it is kind of true playing out the way Clara spoke, that lane 26 looks to be the tougher of the two lanes. We'll see if that keeps going.
Leaves the baby split.
Really doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
Although I'm sure she would have liked to have thrown a good shot.
She's looking at the scoreboard trying to do the math right now. So the bowler's a little nervous.
Yeah, and I think she knows. I think she's just a little mad. You don't want to let up. You want to keep throwing good shots because, when your opponent comes on and you've bowled a 250 rather than a 220 with an open in the 10th, that's a different feeling.
So just wanted to make double check and make triple check and make sure she didn't need to make it to win. But Liz Kuhlkin 224, and like we said, the best that Clara can shoot is 217.
And Clara really bowled a great game.
Yes.
I mean, she goes stone 7, solid 8. I mean, she could have very easily had a 5-bagger to start the match off. And
you could arguably say that Clara bowled a little bit better of a game, but it was pretty even.
It really was. I mean, it's...
Clara certainly should have scored higher than she did.
Absolutely. But you know what? It's how many pins you knock over. You're going to get those breaks sometimes, and sometimes you're not. Clara Guerrero is going to be there more times than not and have her chances to win titles, as she hasn't already done so. I really like her. Really, actually, I like most of the girls out here. Well, probably all of them, actually. We have a good group of ladies out here bowling.
Clara's going to finish 4th this week. So we close out this game.
I'll tell you what, a clean game on a tough pattern. You know what? She gave it her all. Things just didn't go her way.
So we're going to have Liz Johnson coming in next to take on Liz Kuhlkin, the battle of the Liz.
Yes,
the Elizabeths.
Liz and Liz. We will not make a mistake about who we're talking about.
Right. So last shot here for Clara. Good week for her. Finishes 4th. 224 to 205, your final score. So great week for Clara, and she has the big smile that everybody loves, and
always.
She's definitely always a crowd favorite.
Very good ambassador for the sport of bowling. Yes, I agree. Very good.
And so now Liz will come out and get some practice. Liz Johnson, that
is. Liz J. We got Liz J and Liz K.
Liz Kuhlkin does not get any practice.
Both from New York, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah, Liz from Cheektowaga, and Liz Johnson from Cheektowaga. Liz Kuhlkin from Schenectady.
Different, both upstate, but a little bit far, a couple hours away, maybe 2, 3.
Yeah, Liz Johnson is in the Buffalo area, and then I think I'm not sure where Schenectady is.
I think that's I think it's considered upstate when it's in that other part of New York, not in the New York City area. Yeah, I think so. I think you have New York City and then the rest of New York.
The rest of New York, exactly.
But I think that Liz Kuhlkin is closer to New York City than Liz Johnson is. if I could check my geography. Don't hold me to that. I'm sure some of your Facebook users could let us know.
I'm sure we'll get lots of comments on Facebook and Twitter about that.
You know, we used to bowl, back in the day, we used to bowl in New York a lot, and a lot of upstate, Rochester, Buffalo area, Albany, big bowling state. It's cold there in the winter. Although we're in a big bowling area here.
It is. Topeka's actually a pretty big bowling town. I think a lot of people don't realize that Chris Barnes is from Topeka. This is where he grew up.
I remember we bowled a U.S. Open in Topeka. I made the show there. Wendy McPherson won.
Yeah, 85-86 is when the U.S. Open was here.
Yep.
That was the last time that the Professional Women's Bowling Association was in Topeka. It's been a long time, 30 years.
A lot of good bowlers from Kansas. Dave and Judy Sutar. Fran Wolf. Fran Deacon actually used to be our tournament director. Her son Paul bowled on tour. A lot of good bowlers. I'm sure many that I can't remember.
It's hard to mention everybody. And we've got just a few more practice shots to go. Liz Kuhlkin has the chance to warm up, I think, one lane over.
Now, Liz Johnson, when in practice, she thought that the lanes were a little bit tighter.
Okay.
She's throwing a ball that probably rolls a little bit earlier, and at least that's what it looks like she's going to be starting with. Then, earlier in the day, she used a rocket. Now, I think it's like she's throwing a Marvel S, which is an earlier rolling ball than the rocket. This lady, they used to always say she has ice water in her veins when she's competing, because one of the nicest people you ever want to meet when you're off the lanes. But she is a competitor. See Liz wearing a knee brace on her knee.
Yeah, Liz Johnson's got a knee brace on. I don't remember seeing that too often.
I haven't seen her bowl in shorts in a
That's
while.
true. That
She's
could
been
be
wearing
it,
long pants, and I think she showed me earlier we were having lunch. People were eating afterward. They were done. I guess it was dinner. And she had a piece of tape because she said it rubs on the other leg when she bowls, and she's not really sure what's wrong with it. It's just bothering her, and didn't look like it bothered her too much. She's still up there and is up there in a lot of tournaments.
Liz Johnson has just told Damon Sirocco that she is going to start the match.
I guess she doesn't feel the trickiness of lane 26, or maybe she wants Liz to have to finish the match. I can always remember from my days back on tour, start first, finish last. Sometimes it's more about, do you want the person to have to finish the match, or do you yourself want to pick the lane that's better for you? Or maybe it's a toss-up for her. Maybe she likes them equally, so she's going to make Liz finish the match and hopefully put some pressure on her.
So Liz Johnson will start the match on the left lane, which means that Liz Johnson will start the match on the left lane, which means that she will finish last.
Yes, start first, finish last. So she must like lane 26 better then.
Yeah, you never know. Some players have the mindset of picking it based on how the lanes play, and some of them pick it just on whether they want to start or whether they want to finish first or second.
Maybe she wants to throw it when she needs it. She's pretty good at that.
She is. Liz pointing it up pretty good off the gutter, and
more times than not, that is Liz's A game. She is going to throw the high, hard ones at you, and she gets that thing to roll right in there. And let me tell you, she can throw some high heaters.
If you're just tuning in, this is our semifinal. Liz Johnson taking on Liz Kuhlkin here at the PWBA Topeka Open. I'm Lucas Wiseman, along with Hall of Famer Anne-Marie Dugan. The winner of this match will take on top seed Danielle McEwan coming up next. You can see Kuhlkin settling in here.
Lucas, the other Liz is now, Kuhlkin is going to start and finish the match the way she did. She made Clara start, so she's on the lane that she started on last game.
It's a good shot. Right, like Clara, she gets a bad break on that right.
Yep.
There's the 9 pin.
Let's have to see if this lane turns out to be the tricky lane of the two. So far, it kind of has. nonetheless, easy spare.
No problem for Kuhlkin as she picks it up. Crowd having a good time here this evening. There's a lot of people here. It's pretty packed. They set it up pretty nice with bleachers all around. And
yeah, this is a really nice bowling center.
It is a very nice bowling center.
We had decent crowds most of the week. I mean, you know, the weekend, I should say, because it's not a week, but, you know, good Pro-Am turnout. A lot of people coming to watch.
You can just see from this shot that it's pretty full in here. All the seats are pretty much taken.
I would say most of these people have been here most of the day.
Yeah.
Really nice shot by Liz. It really looks like it is developing to where she likes it and is starting to feel more comfortable and relaxed.
She's kind of playing with her left arm a little, her left shoulder a little bit. I don't know. She tweaked it or something. She kind of grimaced in pain and touched her left shoulder. Obviously, that's not the arm that she throws the ball with, but it is the arm that she kind of gets some leverage with. And
I'll tell you, this format that we bowl, the 12 games of qualifying and then the 16 games of match play, it's pretty tough. I mean, it is, that's a lot of bowling in a short period of time. And it's been cool in here.
It has been, yes.
Actually, I mean, I know I bowled a few games in my jacket, which is okay. I mean, at least with cool weather, you can put something on to warm up. The opposite being if it's too hot, you can only take off so much clothing. I think they did that. It's been pretty hot and humid out the last couple of days. It keeps the approaches better when it's cool in here with the synthetic approaches.
Well, so far Liz has left 2 10 pins, and they've looked pretty much the same.
Yes.
I don't know if that's cause for concern for her, or is it too early to make a move? You hate to wait too long before you
in a one-game match.
Make a change in a one-game match.
And it might be might be a little excited at the beginning of the match, throwing it kind of firm. She probably just needs to let it roll and let that ball finish. But her game is pretty firm and direct. She got that left.
Yeah, she got it left and got a mitt full of it, and it checked up on her and leaves the 3-6-10.
Liz is a good spare bowler.
Well, got lucky on that one, didn't she?
I'll tell you, that speed never hurts, does it?
She gets all of them. Del Ballard is summoning her for a chat.
Wouldn't be bad to have Del Ballard as your ball rep. That's not too bad, huh?
There's a look at the shiny top of Del's head.
Yes, I think he knows a thing or two about bowling.
Looks like she's going to go back over for another chat. Coming up with a game plan. I'm not sure she's real comfortable with what she's got right now.
I talked to Del a little bit before, and he had his girls were out playing. He said he wanted them to stay right and play as far right as they could, knowing that maybe, Liz bowled quite well down here. And as the tournament went on, and the more that the shot moves in, I think that does shift the advantage to Liz Kuhlkin. And Liz Johnson, if it, when it's off the corner and you can point that up in there. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone better at doing that.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many people who are as good as Liz Johnson is at doing that.
Yes.
Stephanie Johnson can get in the rhythm sometimes and be pretty close. She did that at Wichita.
Yes,
she won a couple of weeks ago. But
I don't know, though, if I've ever seen anyone do it quite like Liz
does.
Liz
is pretty impressive.
Yes,
Liz was actually my pick to win this week based on the short pattern, and just she kind of thrives off these kind of patterns. So, so Johnson was my pick. We'll see if she ends up winning. That's in.
Yes, it looked a little soft, too, didn't it? It didn't look like she had the speed on that one that she did.
Usually Liz Kuhlkin generates some pretty good ball speed.
Yeah, she's pretty aggressive through the ball, and that one just looked a little soft maybe. I don't know. I didn't notice that, her rubbing her shoulder when you said. I hope she's not hurt.
Trying to clean it up here. And she does. Pretty slow start for both players in this semifinal. 2-pin lead for Liz Kuhlkin. She comes back to talk to her ball rep, Rob Gottschall.
Yeah, he's done a really good job with his players, getting them to the show, and done a really good job.
There's a look at the trophy this week.
What a nice trophy.
pick up the win, take the trophy home.
That was a nice shot.
Well, it looks like whatever the little talk that Dell had with Liz may have worked. Because Liz Johnson comes out and pops a strike, her first strike of the match.
Not sure, sometimes you just need someone to tell you, no, just make a good shot. It's still there. It doesn't look like anything's different. And that's what she was doing in practice.
Will we have our first double of the semifinal? We'll find out right now.
That could be there.
Pretty good shot. Liz Johnson gets on the board with the double and takes the lead.
She looked over at Dell and gave him a nod, so he must have told her something that she felt was what she needed to hear. Sometimes that's all it takes.
It doesn't take much, right?
Nope, sometimes that's all it takes,
The adjustment may be very small.
Yep.
Or maybe just some encouragement.
Yeah, those were two really good shots.
Yeah. So now the pressure on Kuhlkin to start finding a way to throw some strikes. That's right.
Yeah.
And gets the light hit to carry.
Oh, that's a nice break.
Area check there to the right.
I think she feels quite fortunate on that one.
That's a good sign when you can get the ball back from there and still strike.
Yes.
Loosens up that arm swing just a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
5 frames in, our semifinal match here at the PWBA Topeka Open, and Liz Johnson is leading by just a few pins, 8 pins.
Yep.
And thanks to our primary sponsors of the PWBA Tour, 900 Global, Brunswick, Columbia 300, Hammer, Rotogrip, and Storm. Great shot there for Hammer staffer Liz Kuhlkin.
She looked a little happy about that. I'm not so sure she felt like she threw that like she wanted to, just from her reaction.
Well, she
got that wide, didn't she?
She takes the lead.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was was watching the replay of the one before.
All right, here we go. See where Liz Johnson is standing. She actually points her feet right.
Yeah, she wants to stay right and just really, really, really firm that ball up. Yeah.
That one got away from her a little bit. 6-10.
If you notice, it looks like Liz is possibly even sliding right of 10.
Yeah.
Or right on it. She is pretty far right with her feet.
Liz operates very quickly. She's up set almost before the rack comes back up.
No grass grows under her feet for sure.
Ooh.
Oh, that was nice.
Almost chopped it, but does convert the spare. You can see our signage in the background. Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider of the PWBA Tour, thanks to Kegel and all of our sponsors, product registered sponsors here for the PWBA. They've really stepped up to the plate and allowed us to bring back professional women's bowling.
Which is a really great thing. I have a pro shop in Edmond, as you know, and a lot of my customers are so happy that the women are back bowling. They follow them, and it's really a good thing. It's just a good thing for bowling overall. So many of these young girls are so good and never had a chance to really, after college they wanted to come bowl and there was nothing for them. So it's so good to see. So good. So grateful to the USBC and the people who have put this on.
As well as the BPAA.
Yes, sir.
Liz gets the spare. Johnson with the spare in the 7th, but a couple of shaky frames, and she's right back to Dell for another talk.
She is throwing a ball that rolls a little earlier. Maybe she's trying to decide if she needs to change to something that goes a little longer that lets her stay in that part of the lane. Curious to see what she'll do. This is a big shot for Liz Kuhlkin here. See if she can get back into this match, take the lead, actually, wouldn't she?
Yeah, she's actually up by 4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be up by 14 with another strike, or actually 16. Good shot, gets the carry. 3 in a row for Liz. This is about the time last match when she turned it up a notch.
It is, and Liz is going to be able to create a little bit more of that than maybe a couple of the other players. Liz Johnson will do it with speed, and she gets the angle coming from the far outside right. Liz Kuhlkin is able to open the lane up a little bit and have her ball actually more hooking into the pocket at a more at a little steeper angle, and gives her that really good mixer carry.
So Liz Kuhlkin up by 16 in this match. She'll go up 26 with another strike.
Oh, that looked good.
Oh, high, carries the 4 for the strike, and 4 in a row for Liz Kuhlkin.
If you can do the light shaker and then trip the 4, that's money. That's money. I mean, and the longer, as I said before, the longer Liz Kuhlkin stays on these lanes, the more they come into what she likes to see.
So Liz Johnson now a lot of pressure to find a way to put a couple of strikes on the board here. The 8th and the 9th.
She did change balls. She changed to something that goes a little bit longer down the lane.
It's a gutsy ball change at this stage of the tournament. And
What
it pays off.
What a great move. That's the ball that she threw most of the day today, I think, from what she told me.
So Liz Johnson with the strike in the 8th. Her max is 232.
That really was a must strike right there. And she really needs to strike right here to put a little pressure on Liz Kuhlkin.
Yeah, Liz Johnson strikes here. Her max is 232. The max for Liz Kuhlkin is 258. Pretty similar match to last game. Big shot. She pulled it again. She's pulled a lot of shots in this match.
She has. Well, you know, when you're playing that far outside and pointing it up from the corner, you don't have a lot of room to the right, you know. Miss to the right is 0. Miss to the left, she got 8.
Yeah, she just does make it. She's flirted with disaster a few times on some of those spares, but she gets it done, and you can see the scoreboard at the bottom of your screen.
I saw her look over at Dell. She knew she didn't throw it good. I think it probably was the right ball choice, but just she didn't execute the way she wanted to.
I think that's been the problem for Liz Johnson in this match. She just hasn't executed as well as she needs to win.
Yep.
Sometimes that happens.
It does. I mean, it's a quick thing. And, you know, if your partner gets a couple, you know, your opponent gets a couple breaks, which not to say that Liz's were breaks. I mean, you create your own luck.
Mm-hmm.
She threw the shots and got the carry, put some pressure on Liz, and, you know, you don't always perform under the pressure.
All right, 9th frame, Liz Kuhlkin. An opportunity to lock this up, move on to the championship match. Oh, look at that. Gets the 4 to go.
Well, she's getting some breaks there, but as I said before, I mean, I just think it's developing for her. I don't think she expected that ball to hold. It might have hooked out.
Well, now 5 strikes in a row for Liz Kuhlkin, and she's same situation as last game. Open frame 220s again, and that would be enough.
She's really setting herself up good for the 10th.
She is.
I'm
yeah,
sure she
all the
wants
pressure off.
She wants to make some good shots, though, just for herself. That was not good.
Way left.
Yeah. I'll tell you, though, when you're in the Stepladder finals, and there's a lot of pressure on these ladies. I mean, it's not, you know, your nerve endings are on fire. You know, you feel every little bit, and, you know, she's pretty relaxed. I'm sure she's probably just trying to be relaxed. She didn't need a mark. Got it in a little bit, and this is a 35-foot pattern. I mean, you miss left, it's going to hook left.
And what this means is that we are guaranteed a first-time PWBA champion this week.
Yes, we are.
Again.
I don't think the combined age of these two girls is 50.
It might not be. I would be surprised if it is.
Lucas, that makes me feel old.
Well, Liz Kuhlkin going to be in the 240s.
And another great performance this week by Liz Johnson. She's just a great bowler. Another good ambassador for our sport. And we'll see her again, I'm sure.
There's Danielle McEwan making her way down here for the championship match. As Liz Johnson steps up to close things out.
This is kind of a New York final, isn't it? With the exception of Clara.
Yep.
Isn't Danielle from the East as well?
Yep, she's from Stony Point, New York.
Do you think there's a little correlation in that with our 35-foot pattern and spare, you know, needing to make a lot of spares? They're teaching them really good how to bowl well in New York.
Liz Johnson going to be at 202 with the spare, and I think she will be the first to admit that she just didn't execute well enough to win the match.
And I'll tell you, Liz Kuhlkin has bowled 2 good games.
Yes, she has.
She's got a couple breaks, the Brooklyns, but they were really when the match was almost pretty much over in this game anyway. And they're not easy out there.
247 to 202, your final score as Liz Kuhlkin moves on to the title match.
Yeah, this was not an easy lane condition this week, Lucas. I mean, to get a check, it was under, I think, a little bit, wasn't it? Right about
Yeah,
even?
it was right at even like one under, 2 under, but it
yeah,
hasn't taken very much to get checks or to get into the top 16 either. It's been a very reasonable scoring pace every week.
well, we're not bowling on a house shot.
No,
We're bowling on sport compliant. Is it the WTA patterns that we're bowling on?
It's modified versions of them. This is a modified Beijing pattern.
Because as you know, we don't know the pattern until we show up to practice
I
session.
don't know the pattern either.
Nobody does.
It's a little surprising to me that Liz Kuhlkin has shot 224, 247 on the fresh, considering that she even admitted that the fresh was not her friend this week.
Well, though, they're
But there's a
bowling
lot
4
more,
girls.
lot more practice.
Yes, they're bowling 4 girls on 1 pair, and in match play, it's just the 2 of you, and that probably maybe helped a little bit. And I think that she had some of the higher games in the tournament for sure. She was the only one to shoot 300,
for sure, yeah.
and it was down on this end of the house.
They're presenting our hosts with their autographed Miller Lite ball. They're doing a great job this week.
What great hosts they were. Great hosts.
I think that every single PWBA stop we've had this season we would love to go back, wouldn't we?
Oh gosh,
They've all been great.
Yes, it has. We've been very fortunate.
We're looking forward to Lincoln next week, followed by Welch, Minnesota, followed by Detroit. And if you're in Lincoln, Welch, or Detroit, you got some big shoes to fill here. We've had some good hosts.
I'm telling you, they have spoiled us. I mean, it's been great.
So Danielle is getting her practice. Take a look at how she is attacking the lane, looking pretty good.
She looks like she's in a little deeper.
She does look like she's in.
Than when she was practicing. And Danielle is not quite, I don't think, as straight as Clara or Liz.
Johnson, yeah.
Yes. She doesn't hook it as much as, or I should say play the lanes the same that Liz Kuhlkin does. She won't get in quite that deep.
Her angles are a little bit
more closed than Liz's, but she is not as straight as Liz or Clara. So, who knows? This may play right into her because I saw her bowl some really good games down here as well. And she, too, bowled, at least in the second set, bowled better later than she did early. These are 2 really good young talents that we have going in our final match.
Yeah, somebody's going to get their first career PWBA title this week. It's been like that every week so far. We had Alicia Current win the first week in Sacramento. Then Jazriel Tan, who's an amateur, does not get credit for the title.
Right.
And then we had Stephanie Johnson. She won her first title.
Who bowled well this week, early in the week. I really thought she might give it a run again. But
yeah, she kind of faded in match play.
She did.
And then Shannon O'Keefe won the striking against breast cancer mixed doubles with Bill O'Neill last weekend, which counted as a PWBA title for Shannon O'Keefe. That was her first title. So
yeah, that Shannon O'Keefe, Stephanie Nation, they're a little older than Liz and Danielle, but the tour really folded when those girls would have had a chance to come out and bowl. So, and Alicia Curran as well.
Yeah.
So that was really nice to see.
So another new PWBA banner will come out of this match regardless of who wins.
We're making stars every weekend, and that is great. Actually, we're letting the bowling community know of these stars.
And both of these players are relatively recently out of college.
Yes.
Danielle McEwan has been on Team USA for the last 4 years.
Really a nice game here. Very smooth looking bowler. She's a tall girl.
She is very tall. Yep.
I'd say she's got to be upwards of 5'9", 5'10".
When I set my cameras, I always base it off of her because she's usually one of the tallest out there.
Yes.
Danielle, a 4-time Team USA member, a 3-time Junior Team USA member. She's finished 4th at the World Cup twice, 2012 and 2013. And
None
she's
of that is surprising.
won the Team USA trials in 2012 and 2013, and she was the runner-up at the Team USA trials in 2015. So she's got a pretty lengthy resume for a young bowler.
Yeah, she does. Really smooth. Very smooth style. She's got those nice long levers.
And we were talking about this earlier, that Danielle McEwan has the textbook style that you would want to teach every young lady to bowl, probably.
Yeah,
that style. It's very simple, very textbook, very clean.
Yes.
Liz Kuhlkin not that far off from that either. It's
very nice style as well.
Very straight arm swing.
Yes. I would say that Liz Kuhlkin actually, she has more power than Danielle. And so I would probably say maybe give Danielle is going to be more on the lines of a stroker accurate, which Liz Kuhlkin is, to say that somebody, just because they're a power player, to not call them accurate is not fair. Because look, Liz Kuhlkin is very accurate. And actually, to control your break point the way she does, you need a different, it might be a little different kind of accuracy, but I'll guarantee you she is just as accurate. It just, you know, when you have area to the right, it's more visible than when you have area to the left. Just my opinion.
Liz Kuhlkin's second frame gets the hit for the strike, and a nice round of applause from our great crowd here at West Ridge Lanes.
Lucas, we could have a pretty high-scoring title match here because Danielle really struck a lot in practice, and Liz looks very comfortable on the lanes.
Yeah, Liz is 71 over for the first 2 matches, and so she shoots, you know, you figure she's going to shoot 230 this game. I would guess that Danielle's probably going to be right there with her.
I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is going to be very exciting.
Second frame. You can see how steady Danielle McEwan's head is.
I mean, great balance at the foul line. Great balance. And I'll tell you, she is a tall girl. I mean, she has, you know, she's very nice game.
Danielle said that she gives a little bit of the credit to her good bowling this week to the fact that she got to go to Puerto Rico with her family for a few days this week and relax and rest up. So
nice.
A little mini vacation. Her brother was playing in a baseball tournament there, so the whole family went down to relax. And
obviously an athletic family.
Yes. Her brother's a good bowler, too. He bowled well at Junior Gold. That's got to hook a lot. Comes up a little bit light, leaves the bucket.
Yeah, she got that a little right, maybe a little firm. I would have ball speed for her has got to be an easy thing. She's just so smooth. What a really good arm swing. Just, you can't say really anything bad about the way either of these girls bowl, really.
Lets the legs do a lot of the work, too. Generates a lot of the power from the legs.
Oh, those young legs.
You're still the same way. If you're just tuning in, I'm wondering who's talking. I'm Lucas Wiseman, along with Hall of Famer Anne-Marie Dugan.
I'll tell you, you do lose your legs as you get a little older.
Do you?
Yeah. You might not think you do.
Makes things a little tougher.
It can, yes. Yes. I can't complain.
You've kept up with it pretty good. You've been working hard for this opportunity to come out and bowl again.
Yeah, I feel so close, but you know, it's just really, really fun to watch these girls. They are very good. If anyone's in the neighborhood of where one of these events is, I really encourage them to come watch. I mean, it's pretty impressive. Quite a few really good young bowlers, and you see Liz get a little bit of a light shaker there.
She did, and the reaction and the emotion was interesting to me because I almost get the impression that she looks a little nervous. Even though she started with 3 in a row, she looks pretty nervous.
She's going for her first professional title. I'm sure she is nervous.
She looks like it. She couldn't believe that struck. And she's got the front 3. She's got a slight lead now.
I'll tell you, that's where you saw her power come in. I mean, she stays with it good enough, and she can create that power of that ball to come in.
It's a very far left shot, and she gets the lucky break.
I'll tell you.
You almost get the feeling that it's her day today, the way she's carrying some of this stuff.
She's been pretty fortunate with the Brooklyns, but, you know, I mean, she's thrown a lot of really good shots. It's just those Brooklyns all 3 of them have been on strikes, and then she has come back and capitalized on the other side of it. going to put more pressure on her partner here, her opponent, excuse me.
Danielle needs to step it up. Now she's all of a sudden down by 14.
Oh, that's a nice shot. Get up. There you go.
Hit the carry and got ourselves a relatively high-scoring match here for the title in Topeka.
She really let that ball roll. She trusted it. I think that's the thing with Liz Kuhlkin. I mean, she's just not trusting it on that left lane. She trusts it, but you got to be careful. You can't trust it too far right because it will hang.
Good shot. Short pin on the messenger there as it rolled around the deck. And Danielle not going to be real happy with that.
There weren't a lot of messengers this week. There really weren't.
And I saw a few that missed, actually, go in front of the 10-pin. But she's staring down a spare here. And Danielle falling a little bit behind in this championship match as we approach the halfway point.
That's a good spare conversion.
She's a very, very good spare shooter.
You know, sometimes being the tournament leader can almost to you seem like a disadvantage. Liz Kuhlkin has been on the lanes for 2 games and has had good fortune and bowled well. So she really knows what they're doing. Danielle comes on and they've changed since she practiced on them. So
well, we'll see if Liz can keep it perfect here. That's way right.
Yeah.
If that would have struck, I would have just go ahead and given her the trophy.
Yeah, I do think that I'm sure both girls are a little nervous.
Yeah,
they are.
Got a little right. She got it right a little bit last time on that lane. And,
well, you know,
that was even
after the Brooklyn on the other lane, that's not surprising.
Overcorrection a little bit, yeah.
Probably just trying to make sure she threw a good shot.
Spare here. She's still up 22 after 5 frames.
This is a shot I'm curious to see how. This is the lane. She's gone Brooklyn on, I think, this lane twice.
Yeah, this lane has been a little bit trickier, I think, for her.
For her, which Clara thought the right lane was the trickier of the two. It may not play out to be that way.
Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's tricky or just making bad shots.
Yes.
A few of the shots she's made on this left lane have just not been quality shots.
But sometimes when you're not comfortable on a lane, it makes it hard to pull the trigger the right way. She's really going to have to bear down and make a good shot.
Up by 22. Half a game to go.
That actually looked like a better shot.
It's pretty
there.
firm.
Nice.
Yep. She threw that one with some authority and gets the strike in the 6th frame.
I would think that these two girls know one another from college and maybe youth bowling, junior gold,
and
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I believe they're pretty familiar with each other. 2 of our young rising stars. PWBA Tour, the new generation of bowlers.
Yes, they are.
Coming in from college. There's a lot of them.
Representing quite well.
That's a good shot. Gets the high, hit the carry.
She almost looked a little worried when she let go of that.
Yeah, maybe.
Her body
I thought it was pretty good, but maybe
I did too. Her body language wasn't sure. You know, there were some pairs that, it just was really hard if you went a little too direct through the front part of the lane to get it to hold. And again, I reiterate that we are not bowling on the house condition, and this is probably quite a bit shorter than what they normally bowl on in their house condition here. In fact, I bowled the Pro-Am on the house condition. It was quite nice.
For the double, needs it to hook. Threw it out the window, left the 1-2-4.
You can tell her motioning with her arm, not happy with that at all.
The only good thing about that is that she doesn't lose any count because it comes on a strike, but...
And it was so far out that it didn't hook back enough to leave the washout.
Yeah, got to look at the positives, I guess. Unfortunately, this spare downright stinks.
It does, and especially the way that the lanes have been. It's kind of a scary one to shoot.
Just got to try to go Brooklyn at it, I would think. She stays to the right. I don't think that's what she
wanted
to do.
I don't think so.
But she makes it nonetheless and gets the spare, and we've got 3.5 frames to go here.
I saw Danielle shaking her head. She was not happy with that frame.
She's talking to Dell as well. Danielle on Storm staff as well, so she's chatting with Dell. So now Liz Kuhlkin, chance to toss a double here, go up by more than 30 again.
Yeah, she was light on this lane last time.
Last couple of times.
She's carried some light hits on here.
A light hit again, and it carries.
Again. You know, like, really, why move? I mean, the light hit has carried.
Exactly.
You know, she left that almost that bucket combination, and I think she's intending to play it light.
Kuhlkin up by 32. 3 frames to go here in our championship match in Topeka.
This is definitely Liz Kuhlkin's end of the house. She has bowled well down here. I bet she's averaging 240 down here.
Yeah, she has bowled well down here in front of our extra frame pairs. Big shot here. Puts her in total control of the championship match.
That's a good shot. Oh, no.
Look at that. It checked up on her. I think she's very happy she didn't leave a split.
You know, at first when she let go of that, I thought she was nice and aggressive with that, as she was a shot before, but she must have missed a little left.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from our angle
It
sometimes.
is. It is.
We're kind of off to the side. She still has a 31-pin lead, though.
Yes. She's just, if she stays clean, all the pressure is on Danielle McEwan. She's going to have to really probably almost go off the sheet here to put some pressure.
She didn't look real confident on that spare, but she gets it.
No, but I think the middle of the lane hooks, so she was okay with that.
Danielle already up and ready in her pre-shot routine.
I see Liz over here talking to Rob Gottschall again.
2.5 frames to go.
This is a big shot. This is a must strike right here.
The next 2 frames are pretty critical for Danielle McEwan. That's a quality shot.
Yes, hold ball. There you go.
You
Nice.
can tell off her hand that was
Yes.
quality. That was a great shot for McEwan.
And a lot of times when the bowler lets go of it and she's, you know, she was bearing down looking at that, she knew that was good. She stayed down with it, came through it. It was a great shot.
2 frames to go. Danielle McEwan's max score, as you can see the scoreboards at the bottom of your screen, is 236. Liz Kuhlkin can strike out for 257.
And if Liz doesn't strike out, if she fills her frames, she's at 220, isn't she?
So this is a big shot for
No,
Danielle.
230 if she strikes. That's a good.
Gotta push.
Oh, wow. That lane, almost the same shot that Liz Kuhlkin just threw on
It
that
was
lane.
very close to that same shot. And now Liz Kuhlkin's going to have a chance to step up here
She can
and
close
win the
it
title.
Mm-hmm. Yes, she can.
Because
Well,
the best that Danielle McEwan can shoot is 216. This is almost identical to the situation it was for the first 2 matches.
we're going to get a chance to see what Liz Kuhlkin is made of right here. I mean, this is her chance. She has a chance to take this title. And let's see how she does.
With that non-strike by McEwan, it virtually assures Kuhlkin the title.
She stays clean.
She needs 1 mark in 2
Mhm.
frames, it looks
Yep.
like. So a strike here.
You know, that's easier said than done,
Oh,
Lucas.
for sure,
Easier
absolutely.
said than
Especially
done.
on this tough 35-foot pattern.
And I'm sure she's feeling it. You know,
going for her first title, maybe a little
You know,
nervous.
and it's not always just the fact that maybe you're going to throw a bad shot. You can over-relax, too. You know, she needs to make a good shot.
Be aggressive and
Yes.
make a quality shot here.
Yes, she does.
Looking to stay clean. That's pretty good.
Yeah. That was
What a
good.
great
What a good
shot for Kuhlkin. She's not ready to celebrate just yet. She still needs some pins.
Yes, that was really, really, really a really good shot. That actually, you know, she carried a lot of light hits on that one. That was nice in
Yes,
the
that was-
pocket, slapped that 10 right out of there.
That was a very impressive strike. And even if she goes 9 out here, she's in the 220s.
Yep.
And Danielle can only get to 216. I mean,
It's
every match has been the exact same scenario.
You know, as
pretty
long
much.
as disaster doesn't strike, I think this title is hers.
But if you're going to win your first title, wouldn't you like to throw a strike
Oh,
right here
I'll
just
guarantee you.
to explode and be happy? And
I'll guarantee you she is
she's going to
wanting a
lose it.
strike
I
right
predict tears if she wins the title, gets the strike here. Liz Kuhlkin looking to win her first PWBA title, crosses over for the Brooklyn.
I'm not sure that's the way she wanted to do it, but you know what? I'd take it.
But Liz Kuhlkin is your winner in Topeka, her first PWBA title.
I'll tell
Wow.
you what, Lucas, you create your own luck. She got there, and, you know, you can say she had a couple lucky ones, but she didn't need a mark.
She didn't.
needed-
Yeah, she
she
didn't
needed
need a
good
mark,
count. She
exactly,
needed to hit
so.
the head pin.
Yep.
Yes.
She
And
did. It's not like she threw a Brooklyn to win.
No.
All she
The
needed
four
was
through
a
the
mark.
middle, four through the middle would have been bad.
That would have been interesting
Yes,
for sure.
Yes.
So Liz going to finish it up here. And she will be on the board with her first career professional title. I think it might start to settle in here pretty soon for Liz Kuhlkin. Oh, there it is. I think it's starting to.
I think so.
Starting to
I think
simmer
she
a little
knows it.
bit.
And I always feel bad for the tournament leader when they lose. Danielle McEwan bowled great. She bowled everybody better than everybody all weekend. But you know, it's our format. You know that's the way it is. You have the chance to win if you make the top 4.
So Liz Kuhlkin, the winner here in Topeka.
I think there might be a little bit of.
It looks like she's a little bit in shock.
She's holding it back a little bit. I think.
Here we go.
Yeah, I think she's.
It's starting to set in. Liz Kuhlkin, you're a professional champion.
Good for her. Good for her. 2 really, really great young talents.
What a great performance in the finals by Liz Kuhlkin. 241 puts her at about 712 for the day.
Yeah, she bowled great.
Stepladder.
Yes.
And those are big numbers on the
Yes.
fresh.
And she bowled, didn't she bowl 240, 260 her last
Something
2 games?
like that, yeah. Yeah, she was about 100 over her last 2 games to make it in.
Mm-hmm.
And then she comes in here and goes 100 over for the Stepladder.
You know, that's a lot of momentum to work off of. You know, she. And I think sometimes on a tough shot and how it was different pair to pair here for Danielle McEwan to come in and win that can be tough, especially when Liz has been on the lanes for 2 games. Danielle McEwan shot a respectable 203, has nothing to be ashamed of. She bowled a good game. It just wasn't her night.
So congratulations, Liz Kuhlkin. Going to do the trophy presentation here.
This may have been Danielle McEwan's first TV finals, but I don't think it'll be her last.
That's for sure. She's still holding that left shoulder, by the way, Liz Kuhlkin. Oh, here come the waterworks. Let's listen.
Come true for me. You know, I've been watching these ladies. I bowled against Liz Johnson tonight. I've been looking up to her since I was 8 years old. Kelly Kuhlkin, all these women I bowled with, just an absolute honor. Now I'm standing up here about to accept the trophy for the professional women's tour. It's just unbelievable. Like, it's indescribable.
Awesome. Congratulations. Now, earlier today, you rolled the first 300 in a PWBA standard event on 29 and 30 behind us. And you bowled 3 games on that pair day and you shot over 800. That play into what went on over here?
Well, I want to thank West Ridge Lane's staff there for having 29 and 30 because, I mean, really just an absolute amazing pair. But really, it was a fight. You know, it's not just about 29 and 30. It's about bowling 18 games today or 16 games and just staying in and keeping your head on your shoulders and thank God for 29 and 30, I guess.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations to Liz Kuhlkin, your winner this week in Topeka. Anne-Marie, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Lucas.
And we will see you next week in Lincoln.
Yes, you will.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll let you watch the rest of the trophy presentation. I'm Lucas Wiseman. Thanks for watching us here on Bowl TV on Extra Frame. We'll see you next week in Lincoln.
There are 2 pieces here. Grab it with both hands. Congratulations.